Hey, what's up, everybody? Brent from Brenspeed. Thanks for watching Brenspeed TV, and it's the day we've been waiting for. It's the 1970 F100 Ranger that we Coyote swapped and did a ton of mods. So here's what's getting ready to happen today. If you're into Coyote swapping and you love F100s, you're going to love this video because I'm going to get George out here to talk about it, who designs the builds. I'm going to bring Dom out here, who's custom fabricator that built this truck. We're going to watch a dyno pull. We're going to look at the numbers first. I'm going to bring these guys out. But it's a 70 F100 Gen 3 Coyote, 10-speed automatic with so much going on this. It's crazy. A lot of QA1, cool components, custom wheels, Dakota Digital, all kinds of stuff, including 4 return style fuel system, 730 real-world horsepower out of this killer truck right here. So grab a beer, grab a water, grab a pop, whatever you're into. It's going to be a little bit long today, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to watch a dyno pull, talk about the numbers, and then we're going to have this on a lift. We're going to look underneath it, look at the engine compartment, look at the interior, and check it out. Subscribe and notify if you haven't. Watch cool videos like this. Let's get to it. All right, here's the numbers. I can't wait to get George and Dom out here to tell you all about this F100. I know a lot of people like to know, you watch the dyno video, what it make. Doug, come over here, take a look. 732 real horsepower. This is a Dyno SAE, 7,700 RPM. Torque came in at 558 at 5,000 RPM through the 10-speed automatic. All right, this is insane for this truck. This is a 1970 F100. Which is very surprising. Drives really, really good on the street. You go wide open throttle, it handles really good. And you'll understand that once these guys get this truck up on the lift and you look underneath to see everything we've done. So 732 real horsepower. That's way over 800 flywheel on that 70 F100. I'll grab the boys. We're going to put it up on the lift. Let's check it out. All right, I went and found George and Dom. So here's what's getting ready to happen. We're going to check it out. A lot of you have been waiting for this for a long time. But this is George. I know a lot of you have emailed him. This is who you contact when you want a quote on an install. And as well, don't forget, you email quote@brenspeed.com to say, hey, what's this cost to get built? But George designs these builds. He's going to go over the vehicle. And this is Dom. Dom's a custom fabricator. Dom built this truck, and this truck is awesome. So I'm going to turn them loose. I'm going to let these two talk about the build. I want them to go over the engine compartment. We're going to look at everything we did. Then we're going to go to the interior. And I want to get this on a lift, and we're going to bring it up because I really want you to see underneath because it's awesome. So guys, I'm going to turn you loose. So everyone, here we go. Tell them all about it.
All right, well, let's check it out. I just want to say Dom killed this build. The engine bay in this truck is absolutely stellar, super clean. Dom, why don't you tell them about the engine that we chose and kind of the setup?
So we chose to do a Gen 3 Coyote with a Gen 5 Whipple Supercharger. I think it turned out really good. It makes killer power, drives really nice, turnkey, ready to go. It's just a great setup.
We also went with a Willwood brake setup. We got the Willwood master cylinder up here. Maybe while we're on the lift, we'll be able to peek at the brakes. We got 14-inch rotors front and rear, 6-piston calipers. One thing I really like, Dom, I love using the PBH accessory drive kit. Doug, I don't know if you can get down in there and see that, but everything that comes in that kit, those brackets, they bolt right on, they fit, they make everything work, everything jive together, and that's really one of the hearts of these swaps that we do in here.
Yeah, they do make it really easy to get the belt drive system and all your accessories hooked up without a whole lot of figuring out of what you need to make or custom fit to get everything to work.
And in all these F100s we've done in the shop, we use an AFCO radiator and heat exchanger. They're actually parts out of a Mustang. They fit right in. They line up with factory holes that's in the core support here. And it goes for a simple, smooth install and just makes everything work.
We also went with a 4 fuel system on this truck. We have some aeromotive parts as far as the regulator, but it's 4 rails, and ID 1050X injectors, if I remember correctly, George.
Yes, sir.
We got the 4 fuel relay box, running the fuel system, and the Phantom twin pumps.
Yeah, and that provides all the fuel this engine needs. It made 730 real horsepower, which is kicking it through a 10-speed auto. We also used a set of stainless power long tube headers, which you can kind of see down in there. We'll check out the exhaust. From the headers back, it was all custom, so we'll check that out while it's on the lift. But right now, Dom, why don't we check out the interior?
Let's do it. So here we are in the interior. This truck came in with a killer interior already. We didn't do a whole lot in here. We did add the Dakota Digital RTX gauges. Doug, if you can zoom in on this. So just looking in, you wouldn't even be able to tell that these are brand new gauges that run off of everything that's new high-tech stuff. We added an I Did It custom steering column. It's got tilt steering wheel and everything. Jesse provided this badass steering wheel. It's one of my favorite parts about this truck. But really the dash, the door panels, if you want to zoom in on those, Doug, and the seats, everything else came in just like this when we first got it.
So, you know, it's not every day you get to sit in a badass F100. I just really love the way this interior turned out. You know, we also added, obviously, the Coyote gas pedal. We put a brake pedal in to match. And then the final thing we did on the interior, we added a vintage air AC system. And then we put this block off panel. It allows for you to install the vents. And it kind of hides everything that hung down from the factory. But, you know, that pretty much tops off the interior. Dom, why don't you fire this thing up and we pull it on the lift?
Sounds great to me.
We can go into a little more detail about these wheels. These are 100% custom made wheels based off measurements we took in the shop. We measure for wheel clearance on the fenders, height, all types of different things go into making a wheel like this. This is 100% custom to the customer spec. And again, we have a 20x12 in the rear, nice wide drag radial on the back. And then Doug, you want to go check out the front? This is actually a staggered setup, and it's 18x9 in the front. We went with a little smaller in the front just for clearance issues in the front that we had when we were originally looking everything over. Wanted to make sure with how low the truck was that we weren't going to have any clearance issues as far as the fender and such. Again, these are 100% custom made. They clear the 6-piston calipers with the 14-inch rotors that we have all the way around. And man, I just can't stop thinking about how great this truck sounds. So let's go check out the exhaust. Well, now that we got this up in the air, I forgot to tell you, these custom wheels are made by Detroit Steel in Detroit, Michigan. You call them, tell them what you want, give them some measurements, they'll make anything you want. It's about a 6 to 8 week lead time. So since we got that out of the way, Dom, why don't you tell them a little bit about this suspension?
So we went with the QA1 front and rear suspension per the customer's request. QA1 offers a complete K-member that'll bolt in. You can drop your Coyote motor right into it. It bolts to the frame, as you can see. We did do some boxing of the frame to help give it some more rigidity through the power we're about to put through it. But this kit comes complete. It gives you your tubular A-arms, coilovers, your sway bar, everything. It comes all complete. It's pretty much a bolt-on. There's a lot of drilling and stuff like that you need to do, but other than that, it's pretty well a bolt-on kit. It helps this truck handle amazingly. Another thing that helps this truck handle great is the brakes that we did. George, you want to tell them about the brakes?
Yeah, the brakes, so you know, you can see them kind of from the back, but again, we have 14-inch Willwood 2-piece rotors. They really dissipate the heat quickly. Got a 6-piston caliper. Got braided stainless steel lines that connect to the calipers. We made in shop full custom stainless steel brake lines front to rear. They hook up to the brake master cylinder up front, run all the way to the back. Really awesome setup. Another thing this suspension does is convert the truck over to a power steering rack. Doug, I don't know if you can see that. Power steering rack just really adds to the truck, how it handles, how it drives, the ease of steering, everything like that and above. Again, we got the 10R80 automatic transmission. It really helps this thing scoot down the road. We've got a custom aluminum drive shaft. Again, built in-house custom drive shaft loop. Dom, why don't you check out the rear suspension?
So the rear suspension, again, is QA1. It's a lot like the front. You get your sway bar, you get a third link. Everything's a full bolt up. It's also coil over in the rear. You get a sway bar. Really, it's just a fantastic handling suspension. This truck drives amazingly. We've done a couple different setups over the past couple years, and this is by far my favorite. The QA1 stuff is just so far above. It handles amazingly.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, the way this truck handles when it's driving down the road, you really feel like you're in a newer vehicle. I mean, it's obviously sitting in the cab that you're in a F100 1970, but it really handles like a newer Mustang. The body roll is basically non-existent. The ride quality is nice. It doesn't beat you up driving down the road. So we just love the way it turned out. You know, another piece that we use the factory rear end housing in this truck. It's pretty much the same thing we do on every setup, but we put a Moser third member, 355 gears, and then we do obviously Moser axles. So this rear end's built to handle the road and anything you're going to throw at it. Another really cool little feature, Doug, if you come up over here, we've got a level 7 battery holder and battery. These are ion lithium batteries, and it actually has a restart feature. So if the charge goes below a certain point, there's a trip that shuts off in the battery to save itself, and then you just have to click it and it starts back up. So a lot of times on these older vehicles, they don't have like auto lights. So we built a truck like this, and the driver might forget to turn off the light. It's happened to me. You got your headlights on, you're cruising, you get home, hell, you just turn it off. That's what you do in your new vehicle, but in an F100, the headlights don't turn off. So it drains your battery, but this thing, you just click your button, she fires back up.
Another awesome thing is we used a Boyd's fuel tank. It's pretty much a bolt-in. We use the dimensions and it fits really well in this truck. We have the phantom fuel pump up top, which Doug, you're not going to be able to see, but the fuel tank fits in really nice, and it's a good capacity to get quite a few road miles out of it.
And then to end with, really, you know, I talked about how much I love the exhaust. So we use a stainless power header on this truck. It bolts right in, and then from there it's pretty much custom all the way back. So we've got 3-inch custom exhaust, full stainless steel 3-inch X pipe into some Borla mufflers in the back. Dave that works for us builds custom exhaust for a living, and man, he really killed this exhaust. It's one of my favorite parts about the truck.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I know that was a long video, but a lot of you have been wanting to see the F100. I want to take a minute to thank George and Dom for designing this build and building this truck, because I'll tell you what, it came out awesome. I love it. So again, how do you get a truck like this built? Or maybe a Mustang? Email quote@brenspeed.com and say, hey, what's this cost to get installed? You can check the description, leave some more comments, possibly about this truck right here, or maybe some of our other builds. But hey, I'm Brent from Brenspeed. Thanks again. Subscribe and notify, stay up to date. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
The F100 is leaving tomorrow. Thanks for watching.